That still works. Yes, and they work. That's all working now, and we should be in a straight line. I think we could get this aligned and actually drive it on the road for the first time, I think. But it's now, what, 10 o'clock at night?
Midnight.
It's midnight?
It was, yeah, 10 o'clock 2 hours ago.
Okay, so it's midnight now. We'll have to get all the wheels on, get this thing aligned. Now, we're going on to the Revolto. And in the next main channel video, we're hoping to get this car actually running and driving. Sounds unrealistic. And one thing we're going to need to get it running and driving is at least 3 wheels. And this wheel here is perished. So what we're going to do is take it off. Hey, that wheel is absolutely perished.
You think you can straighten that?
We've got Wheel Mania here. We're going to give it to them, and then just need to get it so it ain't a rugby ball. And then if you don't hit the caliper, then we can actually drive this car. Like we're obviously going to get some new wheels, but if they can fix that, we might be able to drive it. It is quite bad. I mean,
it's literally an oval.
you don't even sit flat on the floor.
Look at that, it's literally not round anymore.
Off you go, guys. See if you can get that into it's got its own world. Now, it's not advised to try and fix a wheel this bad, but Wheel Mania can fix buckled alloys. You can see them doing it here. But the main goal of this is just to get it straight enough so we can roll the Revolto. So later in the video, we'll find out whether they've done it or not. Back on the Revolto. So basically on the main channel, all we really looked at was the front end. We got stripped off the front end. Now, we're gonna have a little look over the rear end and order some parts and find out what exactly is broken. Work out how to fix it. We still haven't even got this car started yet, which is our main issue. And then we also want to top up a list of parts and how we're going to fix this thing. That's all coming in this video. But first off, we are going to head to the sky, I think. Let's go. We're at Sloan Helicopters. I pronounced that right, haven't I?
Yes.
Yeah. And today, we're having a little lesson. And this is a Robinson R44. It's actually a piston engine helicopter. That is about as far as my knowledge goes on them, but I need to do my license because this is going to be a fun year. This is the first step to doing it. So we're going to have a little walk round, and we're actually going to go in the air today. Which is going to potentially.
That's not a good idea. Have you seen him drive?
And I've got Nikes on as well.
Oh no, quick, go change your shoes.
Yeah, it's not good.
Engine's down there.
Right.
Lycoming engine, about 245 horsepower, which what we can use from it.
And is it right? It's like a Boxster engine, like a flat. It's 4-cylinder.
This one's not. This one's 6.
6-cylinder.
Those ones are 4.
So it's like a Porsche engine, like.
You want to jump in?
Is it? You got loads of room.
Look at this. Honestly, plenty.
I love the visibility. Like that is so good.
So we raise this up, and you'll see that on the rotor blade, the pitch changes. See how it twisted?
Yeah, yeah.
So what that's doing is that's giving us more lift. So as it's changing pitch, we get a greater angle of attack, more lifts going up.
Okay.
So all that's doing, mechanically, is changing that. This does nothing. That's for comfort and to try and control the sensitivity.
And what does this actually do?
So this, imagine the blades are going full speed now.
Yeah.
And that they've become more like a disc rather than 2 blades.
Yeah.
This tilts that disc in different directions.
Right,
so we've got our thrust going upwards if we're doing nothing.
Yeah.
And by moving it forward, we've moved the thrust from lift and we've moved it forward. So we've got a forward component.
So like by moving it forward like a tiny bit.
We would move forward, yeah. The nose of the aircraft would come down a little bit and we'd start drifting forward.
Insane. So here we go. My first ever helicopter lesson. I never thought I'd find myself doing this, but here we are. Learning how to fly could change absolutely everything, and I really enjoy learning a new skill. Once we got in the air, I was told what all the controls and dials do, and it wasn't long before I was able to take control of the helicopter. It's like learning to drive all over again. Now, to be able to fly on my own, I need at least 45 hours of flight time, and I'm going to be trying to do at least 1 lesson a week from now. So as you can imagine, it's going to be a long time before I pass. That was fun. On top of that, there's a bunch of theory tests as well, just like on your driving lessons. Now right here, we actually got to fly over Silverstone. And to see it from this angle was crazy. Now from here, I was able to fully take control. We was going to fly from Silverstone to Santa Pod. The handle that I'm holding tilts the helicopter forward, backwards, and left to right. Then you have two pedals. Push the right pedal down, it turns the helicopter one way. Push the left pedal down, it turns the helicopter the other way. And that's about as much as I can tell you on my first lesson. Now one thing that was really hard, which I didn't expect, was trying to hover the thing in one place. We're about 6 foot over the ground here, and actually keeping it in one place was so difficult. One gust of wind, you then have to counteract that with your steering. If you then kind of oversteer it, you end up facing the floor. You counteract that, you end up facing the sky. I guess this is something that I'll learn as the lessons go by. But if I actually manage to pass my test at the end of this, the possibilities are going to be endless. Eventually, after an hour, it's time to come in and land. That was nothing like I've ever felt before. That was unreal, and it could already feel like it's addictive. That was so good. Thank you for taking us out and doing that. It was amazing. I just want to go out again. Back in the workshop. Check out this cover as well. This was gifted from Silverstone Porsche because we bought so many parts. We literally just kept the whole parts department in business. So we got a cover, which is pretty cool. So thanks Silverstone Porsche. Hey, that works quite well, didn't we? Because we flew over Silverstone.
Oh, we just did, yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, we flew over Silverstone and picked up this cover. This all comes off, and I still haven't drove this car yet because there's a few issues with it, which we need to solve. We know it goes into second gear. We know it doesn't overheat anymore. But the steering wheel is like this because I think I put the steering rack on the wrong way. We've still got some more parts I need to add on because we missed a few little bits and bobs out, the final touches. But I'm hoping we can do all that now. The one main reason why I don't want to drive this at the minute is PPF. You sound like such a... On PPF. I don't want to wreck the paint. This paint job was expensive. But look, you have all this, you see. Look, all the wheel is open. So it shoots rocks straight through there. And from standard, when you buy a GT3 RS, you have PPF on these sections here to stop it from scratching that paint. Obviously, we didn't buy ours from Porsche, and I didn't know. So now I've bought the actual stock PPF to go on those bits, which means we're gonna have to take loads of air off to get to it. And then also on the front here, same story. Wheel absolutely peppers into this arch here. So I need to get that PPF. I didn't realise that, and the only bit I've put on is this part here. So I want to get them on, sort the steering out, put all the parts on, and then hopefully I can then have a little bit of a rip. It's also imported into the country now, so we have a UK reg for it. But I do need to get a personal one as well. I think that would be sick. Still get these t-shirts now. This is cool, isn't it? Only a few left. You can go grab them now. Some people as well want the clothing signing for some reason, and I can do that if you request it on your order because I've just done it there. I feel bad for doing it because it's such a nice hoodie. Grab that and this with the link in the description. There's only limited numbers, like they don't, once they're gone, we never make them again, and then we make a new drop each month.
You explained that fabulously, well done.
Thanks. Okay, we're getting this in the ramp. This is well loud in here. Cold start, GT3 RS. Right, let me start it up. That is very loud, isn't it? It's well loud in here. So loud. First step, let's get the wheels off. I don't think we're going to be able to do it with this little bar, but I'm going to give it a try. No. Right, here we go. That's one done. Oh my days. Now just got to do the other side. Off. So this is the PPF that you can order from Porsche. And it gives you the exact cutout of the OEM shape that it should be. Okay, first step. Let's clean it up. I hope this goes right. I've had 1 day experience of PPFing. You put it on wet, So you can like proper adjust it and move it around before you're happy, and then when you're happy, then you try and get all the bubbles out. Bit of baby shampoo and water. Absolutely leather in it. Okay, let's see if we can get this right. Come on, guys. Straight in there. Okay, we're in position. It's just so peaceful. This is the type of stuff I like doing it, like, you know, just on my own.
Do you want me to leave?
Yeah, just have some alone time with the Porsche, please. Oh my God, if you do this every single day, you've got to be some kind of psycho. And like everything else must feel so easy for you. You know, like, what's like a really frustrating thing that happens? You get up in the morning to have cereal or a coffee, you open the fridge, no milk. I'm fuming, I'm fuming. To a PPFer, they laugh about it.
Nothing.
Because, yeah, it's nothing to them because they're used to just this stress on a day-to-day occurrence. When you're in a rush and you run past the door handle and it catches on your hoodie, oh, don't you just want to smash the door up?
Especially if it rips it.
Oh yeah, if it rips it, then, oh my God. But for a PPFer,
Nothing serious.
nothing serious. Absolutely nothing for a PPFer. Anything else?
Stubbing your toe.
PPFer, nothing. When you're watching like something you're really invested in, like say you're watching the F1 and it buffers right at the moment the lights are about to go out. Ooh, but nothing for a PPFer. Any more? Oh no.
Go on.
Get in the shower. As soon as you get in, realise no hot water, it doesn't work.
Or you get out the shower.
Yeah.
And you ain't got a towel.
No towel, yeah.
Fuming.
Oh, but nothing for a PPFer. Right, I think we call it there. There's a lot of bubbles in it, which really worries me, but I do think that they come out. I'm gonna take that. I'm gonna take it. Right, that's took a good part of 2 hours, isn't it? Let's go have a look at the back. So, the PPF for this, it goes around this bit of aero here. So what we need to do is actually get this out, and the only thing we need to do to get that out is remove the rear arch lining at the back. You can just see the rear arch line there. We should be able to get to the bolts just to move that out enough. So I'll get the tools to do that. Tools acquired.
Are you going to do the whole job on that? This is
Gotta
not,
get used to it, it's mechanic from 2025.
this is not going to end well.
Imagine you walked into like Porsche and then like all the mechanics are like on these. Somehow in my life I've ended up working on the GT3 RS on a hoverboard.
Do you remember when you were working in a Curry House car park?
Yeah, like what has happened right now? Just one screw on the side, it seems like. I'm gonna need a tool.
I'm not sure if this is laziness or genius, but I'll let you guys decide. How much was that?
£124.
£124?
Yeah, look at the efficiency. Want a bit of tool? Boom. Oh, yeah, back to there.
I don't get how you were so at one with it.
And neither am I, to be fair. Like, it just feels like natural. Just like I feel like I could be in a Disney music video right now. Yeah, that's how that holds in on the back. See that, like one little screw with like 80 ton of downforce or whatever it's meant to have. Hey, want to fit PPF to your car? You could use this completely safe hoverboard. Imagine like you're watching this video in your living room, and then like your mum walks in and you're watching this, and the first thing she sees is a guy on a hoverboard, and then coming back to a Porsche. Like what are you thinking? You're watching like, I don't know, like iRobot or something. Oh, this is way more fun. Gotta get this bit right really, you know, because you can see this bit a lot. I'm so 2008. You so 2008. I got that boom, boom, boom. That future boom, boom, boom. Let me hear me now. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom. Oh, do you know what I thought as well? I think we need to make a deal with Coda from Whistle and Diesel.
Right.
So he's going to get to 10 million subscribers.
Yep.
And on his 10 million subscribers, apparently, he's going to do a Bugatti durability test. I think we should secure The Bugatti. Depending on how bad it's going to be.
He never destroys the car that much. Like, I think we can
No,
fix
like,
it.
it's normally only a few dents, to be fair.
There goes $500,000.
If Cody wants to do a deal, then we've got insurance. He ain't going to want insurance, is it? That's the whole point. This has gone tremendously. Whoa! This PPF went on really well. Nice and protected for the stones it's going to throw up here. That actually went really well. I've got to put this back together and do the other side, then we've got to move on to the next problem on the GT3 RS. 3 hours later, I've done my PPF in. I never want to PPF anything again. But we need to make sure this car is absolutely perfect, because what we're doing with it requires it to be checked over by Porsche. And they're going to check everything. And if it doesn't pass the check, we can't do what we want to do with it, without giving it too much away. But this needs to be perfect. And there's a few things that we missed off, which we didn't show in the main channel video. Although this car, I'm keeping it. I'm never going to give it away. When we give away the cars, I have to make sure that they're 100% absolutely spot on. Whereas a car, when it's my own, I can deal with a little niggle here and there. But this one, I need it to be perfect as well. And what lies underneath this arch lining isn't quite perfect. Another thing that they're going to check is that we've used all OEM bolts in everything. So, which is good. I think we have. I think we've used the right bolt, but sometimes it's hard to tell when you're rebuilding these cars what bolt came from where. We try to organise them as best as possible. There's things that we aren't going to pass on, which we've already discussed, isn't it? Like, we've discussed we're not going to pass original paint. The main thing they're checking for is that it's straight. That is the main thing. Everything else is irrelevant. If you've got a bent car and you've got all these panels on it, then you might as well go home. So, but we're pretty confident it's straight. Like, we're almost 100% confident it's straight. Like, the only thing damaged on this was outer A-pillars, which are just like outer panels, nothing internal. Yeah, all the chassis was all in line. Else, there'd be things that just wouldn't line up or wouldn't work if that was the case. I wonder whether they're going to check torque specs and that. Well, we've talked it to a spec.
And who says that Porsche's torque specs are right?
Yeah, who says?
Ours could be right.
Ours could be way more right.
Ours are right.
That's very true, yeah. So we could argue that case. We think we've got a valid argument there. If my hoverboard could just put the handbrake on for a minute. Why is it moving backwards and forwards? What? I just want the handbrake on. Take a look in there. Guarantee no one could tell me what's missing. What's missing, Matthew?
Support thing.
He's right, you know. Let me go get it. Oh, God. Let's get around that. Oh, God. Oh, my God, there's so many obstacles in the way. Coming back at you. Look at these. They're called tethers. These tethers hold up that DRS system. So you see here, that is supposed to open and close. At the minute, it only does one of them. It's either open or closed. I don't know why it doesn't work. But because a lot of air travels through that, I think this, see look, I mean, it has got good support, but Porsche decided that it needs additional support with some of these ropes.
Yeah, so then all you do is run the wire around the outside of that metal thing and you're good.
What do you do with the end?
What do you mean? The ends are what attach to the thing.
Yeah, but what about this end?
That attaches to the other part.
I'd like to know what's going on in your head in a minute.
Do you want me to show you?
Yeah.
Come out here. You've got 2 strings, but there's not. That's just one.
Oh, is it only one?
Yeah.
Oh, you did tell me that. You did tell me that. That was the twist all along. Oh, you're so brainy. That is amazing. As if we're going to feel that these tethers are on or not, but there must be a reason Porsche put them on. Anyone remember how it went? Yes! Oh my God. The fact that I just spent about 3 hours doing 4 PPF zones and then about 9 hours putting this silly rope on. just shows you. Imagine we built this whole car up and it's taken me 4 hours to put these silly ropes on. and some stickers which you can't even see. Why can't you post every day? Well, today's video will be putting clear stickers on and putting 2 ropes on the car. It wouldn't be a very good video, would it? That's the reason why we can't post every day. Do you know me now driving, knowing that those ropes are on, I feel way safer. Oh, that's solid now, that's sturdy. Ah, I see why they've done that. That's got to be rock hard sturdy, because if we do get air trying to push it down when the DRS is open, it's going to be like turbulent air. Wow, wow, wow. So little things like that you don't have on the GT3, which is why like all the extras add up on the GT3 RS, because you get all them things. Whether they actually make a difference or not, we will find out when we actually take this out for a drive and on the track.
We should drive it against the GT3.
100%, yeah. Then it'll also be a good test to see if we got a really fast driver to go in the Porsche, in the GT3, and then see if I could actually beat him in the GT3 RS, because I'd technically have the advantage, but same power-ish. Yeah, that would be a good little test, I think. Arch lining is back in. All the OEM bolts are in there. Nice new arch lining. Aero is there as well, so I'm pretty sure that is for the brake cooling. We're going to do the other side, then one last job after that. Everything's together. Last issue before we can get this aligned and hopefully drive it. So, if you see here, if you can look in a straight line, that wheel is roughly pointed in a straight line. Then we'll go to the other side. That wheel also, like it, thereabouts or there or not, it's in a straight line. The steering wheel is, yeah, not in a straight line. We could just unbolt the steering wheel, pull it off, and then put it into a correct position. But we risk damaging the clock spring, which is like a spring which goes around the wheel, which allows all the buttons to work, even with turning the wheel. It's hard to explain what that does, and just Google it. I think the steering wheel is in the correct place on the steering rack there. So I think we can disconnect it further down the rack, pull it off, and then move it into the correct place. There is a chance I've not put it in the right place. I'm gonna have a little crawl now and see what I can find. I've had a look down there, and it doesn't look like you can move it in any way. Like, that just seems the way. So we must have got the steering wheel on wrong, but we do risk damaging the clock spring. If we now move it, pull this off, and then move it to the correct place. So what can happen here, so the way the electrics transfer from the steering column to here, someone might think, okay, we run a wire from this button down, in through the column, and then all the wires connect up under here. Now, if you had a wire doing that and then you were turning it left, turning it right, that wire is just going to get raveled up each way, and it's not going to work. So you kind of need like a gyro system like you get on a BMX. And the way they do that is with a thing called a clock spring. Now, the clock spring allows the electric to transfer from here down the column through a little, it's basically a spring, but it only allows you to turn it so many times. If you keep turning it, you can break it, but that's why you have steering lock. I'm hoping that we would just take off the steering wheel, pull it, and then move it to there, but let's give it a go. Let's send it. Oh, we're right, you know. Look, I've even marked it with a little pen there, look. I've just noticed my pen mark where I've actually lined it up, and we put it in a completely wrong place. I feel slightly more confident that I marked it and didn't see my own marking when I did that. Okay, let's waz this all back in. And then what we're gonna do is turn the steering wheel all the way left and all the way right. And if the buttons still work on the steering wheel after that, great. If not, we've probably cost ourselves at least £1,000. Talked to a spec. These all work at the minute. That still works. Yes, and they work. That's all working now, and we should be in a straight line. I think we could get this aligned and actually drive it on the road for the first time, I think. But it's now, what, 10 o'clock at night?
Midnight.
It's midnight?
It was, yeah, 10 o'clock 2 hours ago.
Okay, so it's midnight now. We'll have to get all the wheels on, get this thing aligned. Now, we're going on to the Revolto. And in the next main channel video, we're hoping to get this car actually running and driving. Sounds unrealistic. And one thing we're gonna need to get it running and driving is at least 3 wheels. And this wheel here is perished. So what we're going to do is take it off. Hey, that wheel is absolutely perished.
You think you can straighten that?
We've got Wheel Mania here. We're going to give it to them, and then just need to get it so it ain't a rugby ball. And then, and then if you don't hit the caliper, then we can actually drive this car. Like we're obviously going to get some new wheels, but if they can fix that, we might be able to drive it. It is quite bad. I mean,
It's literally an oval.
you don't even sit flat on the floor.
Look at
does
that,
it?
it's literally not round anymore.
Off you go, guys. See if you can get that into it's got its own world. Now, it's not advised to try and fix a wheel this bad, but Wheel Mania can fix buckled alloys. You can see them doing it here. But the main goal of this is just to get it straight enough so we can roll the Revolto. So later in the video, we'll find out whether they've done it or not. Back on the Revolto. So basically on the main channel, all we really looked at was the front end. We got stripped off the front end. Now, we're gonna have a little look over the rear end and order some parts and find out what exactly is broken. On the back, we've still got the gearbox. Now, a lot of people, and I've actually watched as well, that have mentioned DD's gearbox has been changed 4 times because it's been problems with leaks and issues and stuff like that. Hoping it's not the case for this one. I think this is a whole new gearbox from Lamborghini. So when there's something new that comes out and you get the first ones of it, normally they go wrong, but we're hoping for good news in there. There's no reverse gear, as we've discovered, and there's no starter motor, as we've discovered. It starts with a hybrid battery. But our damage is mainly down here on this back left, where it looks like it's taken an absolute wallop here. So you can see the suspension's broken at the top wishbone. See you later. That's left the chat, deleted. We've got suspicions that this is slightly bent, and also this drop link here, that's left the chat. But also one thing that's going to cost a fortune, we think, which I'm not looking forward to, is that. And that is the motor for the rear.
Today I want to building this. I think you need to unlock. I need to building this valve. But I didn't understand why I value this one. I get stabilizer blueprint. Oh, this one I already have stabilizer blueprint. I get a lot. I don't know why. Why? Again here, and then I'm off here. You get lunar stabilizer blueprint. You get restore release synthetic valve stabilizer blueprint. Okay, you get here. Wait, keep. What percent? I think it's good to go. But I go, but I didn't get that. I don't know. I get another material. I don't know why.
Shield is down. Ugh. Shield is damaged.